The president has been railing against mail-in voting. He's called it a disaster. He says it's an easy way for foreign countries to meddle in the election. I've spoken to a number of secretaries of state, including a Republican one from Washington, who said their mail-in voting systems are completely safe. They have never seen any hint of foreign interference. Though there is, out of millions of votes cast, a statistically insignificant number of people who try to vote twice or commit some sort of fraud, and those people are prosecuted. In your years working the FBI, have you ever seen widespread voter fraud, widespread mail-in voter fraud?
Never. And I'm used to operating in an evidence-based world, and so I've not seen any evidence, nor have I heard anybody on Trump's team offer any evidence. Instead, they say, well, there's no evidence that there's not. Well, there's no evidence that there's not an invisible asteroid about to hit the Earth. We shouldn't all run for the hills. They haven't come forward with any evidence, and I saw Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina say mail-in voting is safe.
The president also threatened to send law enforcement personnel, or talked about sending law enforcement personnel to polling places in order to prevent voter fraud. A number of critics obviously jumped on that, saying it's reviving an old tactic of voter intimidation. Is that kind of thing, first of all, does the president have the power to send local law enforcement to a place? And is it needed?
He has no power over state and local law enforcement, and so they should and they will ignore a suggestion like that, which, as you said, does bring us back to some awful days when we used cops to try and scare people of color from voting. So they will and they should ignore him. I suppose he could try something at the federal level. I can't imagine how a federal agency would abide such a direction. But look, it sends a chill through all of us, because that's a reminder of some days we in America thought we'd left behind.
Just